Today on the show, we go over some of our regular segments, add a couple of new ones, and go over the week ahead. All right, boys, let's get to it.
Welcome to the JSD Fantasy Football Podcast with your boy, Scott Papa Fox Jackson, my guy, Mr. Prestige John Evans, and the one and only bearded warrior, Big Dale Gibson. And we are JSD. Welcome to the pod, y'all.
I'm John.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Dale.
And we are JSD Fantasy. Welcome to the show. How you boys doing?
Another week of football, man. Amazing.
I'm good. Ready to get this thing going.
All right. Well, starter off, we got some news around the NFL today. Head coach Robert Saleh was fired from the New York Jets. Nobody really saw that coming. I mean, they've had a rough go, but to hire the head coach in the middle of the season, not even the middle of the season yet. What do you guys think about that?
That boy got the boot. If you ask me, it's because Rodgers wasn't too fond of the man. I don't think he was doing that bad. Keep it real. Give it some more time. This is Rodgers' first year actually playing. You know, Rodgers, like I said, have control of the offense as well. So Rodgers is all about having his guys, and I think Robert Saleh just wasn't his guy.
Yeah, I just don't think they meshed. No matter what they said about each other, in press conferences, everything's fine, whoop-de-whoop. I don't think that was the case. And it's definitely surprising. I think this is the first time that the Jets owner has had a fired mid-season and not waited till the end of the season is what I saw earlier. And I believe it was the owner's decision, not the general manager. So came from all the way up at the top. So something was not meshing right. So we'll see what happens now.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that the chemistry wasn't there between those two, no matter how much they wanted to push it and convince us otherwise. But now we've got I keep saying the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinating coach, interim head coach at the moment. We'll see how it goes. I don't think much should change, but also a lot could change. So I guess we'll see.
Up in the air, man.
Yeah. So other than that, looks like we got some long-awaited news on Rashee Rice today. The man's going to be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, buddy. We all kind of seen it coming, but to get the official news is kind of like a heartbreaker.
That's 2 leagues that I lost him in. So hopefully I'm able to and move forward because this season sucks with injuries and they just keep piling on week after week.
Yeah, you got that right. As far as him as a player, at least it was just the LCL. Everything else is intact. So even though it's season-ending surgery, it is minimal as far as the damage, and recovery time still about 8 to 12 weeks, which would put him at the end of the year anyway. There's no reason to push him to come back at that point. So we'll see him next season if he's not suspended for off-field offenses. So, yeah.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
If they were smart, they would try and push that up and get it done now.
Oh, like a week ago. Oh, wait. They could have.
Well, my thing is technically, even if they got it pushed up, right, isn't the suspension doesn't go into effect if he's on the IR, right? It doesn't count because he's technically not playing.
I've heard that. Not exactly sure, but I have heard people say that that it doesn't count if he's on IR because he's not able to play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
No repercussions, really.
it's a confusing topic for sure.
Well, with this news, I'm sure we're going to get some clarity in the coming weeks. So let's say just kick that can down the field and don't address it until the postseason. So we'll see. All right. Next, we got surprises and hot takes. Anything jump out at you guys this week as far as anything surprising? Anything you're predicting?
Oh, we're looking ahead.
Either surprises from this week, and maybe even hot takes on. Maybe we rename this segment later down the road too. Just we're playing around with stuff, everybody. Just bear with us. We're trying to nail some solid segments down and playing around with some others, and appreciate some of the suggestions. We got one in one of the videos, our last video, from someone we're gonna start messing around with, called trap players. And I think you guys can figure out what that means. Basically, don't fall into that trap. And so we're gonna play with that one next week when we have some time to actually put some time into it. And keep them coming. We appreciate the feedback and the suggestions.
Yeah, I'm on. Something from last week, the game of the year, Ravens versus Bengals. So we all knew it was going to be a good game. Nobody knew it was going to go down like that. That was crazy. That game was wild, bro.
Yeah, that was an amazing game. I'll give you another good game. It was the Falcons Bucks from last week, and Kirk Cousins, I think, finally hit his stride, and I think that offense is finally figuring out who they are. Unfortunately, it seems it's at the sacrifice of Bijan. Seems like they're more pass first than they are rush, but it's still early. We'll still see what happens, but I think everybody on that offense is definitely fantasy viable. Even Kyle Pitts last week finally showed up. So if they can figure out how to keep that going, I'm definitely excited about the Falcons going forward.
I think with the Falcons, you're looking at, they've kind of just had to see what they can do, right? They knew they had Kirk Cousins coming into the year. They knew they had weapons. Now you're finally getting to see what they can do with said weapons. Even Kyle Pitts. Yeah, he's a tight end there still, everybody. Just so you know. Bijan, I think, yes, he took a hit, and he's been taking a little bit of a hit. I think it's just growing pains. I don't think you can count him out yet. I think that with this newfound quarterback and his abilities with the offense, you're going to be able to see how that kind of levels off, right? It's not going to be so one-sided as far as pass heavy. It'll still be pass heavy, but it'll be balanced enough with the running game and even the pass catching back portion of the game too, some RPOs and stuff like that. I think you're going to get a lot of mix, and unfortunately for fantasy, every game's not going to be the same. It's going to call for a different game script, and we're going to see something else every week or so. And I mean, that's okay. The Falcons really need this to breathe life back into their team. But unfortunately for Bijan owners, it hurts. It hurts right now. But I think there's still good days to come.
Should have drafted the other B-Rob.
Well, he's doing good for himself too over there in Washington. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna just say this now. Tucker Kraft, tight end one on the week. Just saying, somebody called that one out. Just say it. Just say it. That was a nice surprise.
That's why we're gonna come up with a segment to be named soon when we figure it out.
Check those receipts.
And check the receipts. I know I had one earlier in the year with Xavier Legette. I planted that flag on him a few weeks ago before Adam Thielen went out and Andy Dalton took over. So, yeah, we're gonna come up with a good name for that one, and that'll be a future segment. I think it's important for us to be able to show our receipts that at least we do kind of know what we're talking about. And for bragging rights, we love bragging rights. And aside from that, until we can start doing live streams, all we can do is record the show, and we can't really do a waiver show prior to waivers happening because of our schedules. So if you guys help share the channel so people can subscribe, then we could start building an audience and get over the mark of 50 subscribers to do live streams. Other than that, we're looking at other options to do the video recordings, so you can see all three of us in the frame together at the same time. That way, you get the full experience with us. We get to see each other while we're recording, but right now you're only looking at me on the screen, and I'm sorry for that. But we're trying to make it better, and you can't see the guys laughing right now. And yeah, anyway, so. Anything else on that, guys, before we move on to the next segment?
Yeah, man. Just touch on real quick, just a little quick injury update. Injury bug keeps hitting. We got Nico Collins out. He was initially put as day-to-day. He is now week-to-week. So given it's a hamstring, count on at least 2 to 3 weeks minimum. Same thing with Aaron Jones. His hip was bothering him again. I heard that it was actually linked to a previous hamstring issue. So again, hamstring, they got a bye week coming up, but count on being at least 2 to 3 weeks. And then David Njoku, that man messed up the knee again. So give him another couple weeks as well. I'd say he's worth holding on to, though. Don't drop him. Hold on to him, because once Amari Cooper is shipped up out of there, it's all Njoku, baby.
Yeah, and I believe Achane went out with a concussion. They do have a bye week this week, so that gives him extra time to get ready and clear protocols. But knowing the Dolphins and how they are with concussions, given Tua's history, we'll see how cautious they are with the rest of their players, especially somebody like Achane. And then Derek Carr exited last night with an oblique injury, and that is there's no timetable for return for him right now. Not sure the quarterback situation there going forward. I know they put in Jake Haener last night, but I believe they also have Spencer Rattler. So I think offensive players on that team might take a hit with quarterback play. Not that Derek Carr has been consistent or solid the last few weeks. He was on fire first 2 weeks, but then back to same old Derek Carr. But we'll see what happens going forward. But I think that Olave, Shaheed are both going to take a hit, and Kamara's going to get his work. But losing Carr is, as mediocre as he's been, it's going to be a big deal.
He's a big part of that team, man.
Yep, a lot of injuries. On top of the injuries, you got the bye week for 4 teams again this week. You got the Chiefs, the Rams, the Vikings, and the Dolphins. So just so happens Dolphins bye week coincides with Achane's concussion, and the Vikings bye helps out Aaron Jones get a week off without any pressure to play. But again, that timetable on him, we'll have to see. On Derek Carr, I was seeing something today about possibly 2 to 3 weeks, but no definitive timetable like you were saying, Dale. But yeah, it's the injury bug's hitting hard. And yeah, a lot of people are probably scraping at the bottom of the barrel tonight with waivers to fill some spots for those empty rosters with the buys and the injuries. So anyway, so good luck to you all on that. Hopefully it went well, because this will post after the waivers process. Yeah. So,
One
um,
more, one more thing, John. I completely forgot. Patriots got a change of quarterback. Drake May is officially starting this week.
Bring in the rookies.
Like
Patriots still
John,
play football. That's right.
yes, they do. Like John said, people are going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel. He season. So if you're hurting a quarterback and you got some injuries, Anthony Richardson, don't know if he's going to play or not. Derek Carr out. If those two happen to be your quarterbacks and there's really nothing left, maybe take a flyer on Drake May, see what he can do.
Drake May.
I mean, hopefully only get better than where they're at right now. But QB change in New England, we'll see what happens.
I just hope that O-line can protect him long enough for him to get the ball out and not get hammered. So, I mean, yeah, that's one route to take, picking up Drake May and playing him if you really need it. But that's a chance I'm not taking. But, teach their own. Go Pats.
Drizzy Drake May.
So, all right, guys. So I've got a question to ask you, and it's become my favorite question to ask, and I just love saying it. And it's the segment I came up with. So, where did the bad fantasy football hurt you this week?
Go ahead, Scott. I'll let you go first.
Man, kind of like last week, dude. I didn't really take any hits last week. Let me double back. So when I talk about fantasy, I'm in too many leagues. Again, disclaimer, I'm in 22 leagues. So I have decided my focus is going to be on our main league, which is our work league. And in our work league, I guess you could say Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason had a subpar. He did his projections. In full PPR, he came in at 13.8. So it didn't kill me. Hurt me a little bit. And CeeDee Lamb, man. What's going on with him and Dak? Like, we need some more spark. We need some more excitement because Jalen Tolbert came in clutch. That man was clutch. But I'd say CeeDee Lamb, if anything. CeeDee Lamb got me right here.
I would be more on CeeDee Lamb being the hurt than the Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason still got you 13. I'm not sure where CeeDee landed you, but
13.
Yeah, but that's CeeDee Lamb.
Exactly.
So that's the hurt if I were you. Go ahead, Dale. Sorry.
Good. I'm also going to stick with a wide receiver. Chris Olave. 4 targets, 2 receptions for a grand total of 10 yards. He just couldn't get it going, and not too much of his own fault when that O-line can't protect its quarterback. I think every play I saw Carr drop back, he was under pressure, had to throw it away. It was not a good game all around, but I just traded for Olave as well to try and replace Rashee Rice. He was coming off a couple good games, and I needed to replace that wide receiver 1. And so far, not working out. But luckily, I was still able to win my matchup in the work league, this week. But he hurt my soul.
I'd like to stick with that exact thing you just said as what hurt me this week, because your trade for Olave, trading Chuba Hubbard to my opponent, cost me my match.
Oh, man.
So you're going to blame me for the rest of your team underperforming?
No, I'm going to blame you for giving away Chuba Hubbard for Olave. And that's it.
I needed to do it. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You really didn't. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll talk later. But that's where the bad fantasy football hurt me. It was Dale.
Me.
Dale's the bad fantasy football.
If it makes you feel any better, I did the same thing to Dale the week before.
Oh, so is it my turn to do it to somebody this week? I'm not an evil person like that. So I'm just saying.
Oh man, that's a cold game.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that I'm done hurting inside, you guys want to do a starter set?
Yep. Let's get it.
All right.
Let's see.
Scott's doing the same thing I'm doing. Pull that schedule up. So, all right. Let's start with the Thursday game. I've got a starter set. Are you starting Deebo Samuel or DK Metcalf?
DK. Starting DK. You got to get. I say give Debo a couple more weeks, man. His first game back was decent. Last game back the last game was not too hot, man. He dropped a dud on him. Seahawks have a nice defense. I say sit him for the week. Let DK do his thing. You know, DK has been that man so far. So let DK cook, man.
I'm gonna go opposite. Actually, I'm gonna start Debo and sit DK. Not that DK hasn't been the better receiver this year and put up better numbers. The Niners just always seem to have his number, regardless of, how well he matches up. He just always seems to get locked down in one way or another. Not always completely shut out, but not super productive. Granted, the Niners have not been playing up to par and not what people have been expecting, blowing coverages, but I'm going to go Debo. I think because the Niners are 2-3, just came off a loss to the Cardinals, and it's another division game. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder as well as everybody else to prove that they're still a playoff team. They're still a Super Bowl contending team. And Debo's a big part of that, and I think he's going to take that and he's going to show out on Thursday. So I'm going to take Debo over DK.
All right. I have to side with Dale on this one for all the reasons he listed, plus the fact that it always seems that once you have an Ayuk game, they try to counter and they balance it out, and you get a Debo game. So, in fact, I would also argue that Juwan Jennings will get more involved in this matchup as well. They are traveling to Seattle on a short week. Yeah, I think they've got that chip on their shoulder, and they're going to go in there. They're going to use Debo as the gadget man, and maybe take some stress off of Jordan Mason. The amount of usage on him, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts getting some maintenance days when it comes around to it. But yeah, I think DK is awesome. DK is a killer. It's against the Niners defense, and that's kind of like what the tiebreaker was for me as far as leaning Debo's way, along with the fact that anytime Ayuk has a big game and Debo doesn't, they tend to overcorrect, and Debo has the next big game, or it's fairly even. So they try to get him back involved. And with McCaffrey out, he'll be the gadget guy. So I think he'll get a lot more looks, and they're going to try to mix it up to get that win, because they do have a chip on their shoulder. We all do. So
Yeah, I'm on.
Yep.
Motion detected at the doorbell.
Ignore that.
I got one for you guys. Commanders, Ravens. Are you starting Daniels or are you starting Lamar?
Daniels. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one, but Daniels is just on fire. I mean, he's doing things that we haven't seen before in terms of, rookie numbers for a quarterback, yards through the air, yards on the ground, completion percentage. He's doing everything for this team. And I don't think anybody had the Commanders at 4-1 through the first 5 weeks.
Detected at the doorbell.
No, sir.
Nobody, unless you're a diehard Commanders fan, and even then, I don't know if they did. But it's definitely going to be a hell of a game. I think it'll be high scoring for sure. But I'm going to go with Jane Daniels. I have both quarterbacks in different leagues. And I just want to see more Daniels. And I already know what Lamar can do. We've seen what Lamar can do, but seeing what Daniels has done and what he can do going forward, I'm excited. So I'm taking him for sure.
All right. So, spoiler alert, you can see Daniels in that same game that Lamar is going to do better than. And I'm going to tell you why. The Commanders' secondary is garbage. All right. Lamar's going to eat, and we're actually going to have a game that's not all Derrick Henry. All right. I think you're going to get more Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers, maybe Mark Andrews, but probably not. And I just think that Lamar is going to dominate on that end of it as far as fantasy goes. It's going to be a shootout, and it's going to be an awesome game. But I'm going to go with Lamar on this one. Sorry, Dale. I hope good for Daniels for your sake. But again, like you said, you have them both in different leagues. So I don't think you're going to be disappointed either way. But I think Lamar's going to take this one.
I mean, I
trust.
can't argue with any of that outside of the Ravens lost earlier this season. We thought the same thing. Lamar's just going to put body numbers, pass all over him, run all over him, and he did none of that. So maybe this is one of those trap games for Lamar. You never know. The Commanders secondary is bad, but maybe they step up this game. Who knows?
Big trust, baby. Trusting in Lamar. Lamar Jackson has a chip on his shoulder, man. This guy right now is not even happy after wins. Like, he's like, we got something to prove. People have been talking that mess. A lot of people think he shouldn't have won MVP last year. He's trying to show them who the real MVP is. Lamar about to come in there and whoop them boys. And for the record, Johnny, Derrick Henry's about to run all over their ass. It's just going to be an all-around high-scoring game.
That's your MVP.
Mm-hmm. But nah, I'm going with Lamar on this one. I think the Ravens are going to come in there. They're going to show up, show out. It's going to be high scoring. I don't think they're going to shut out the Commanders, but it's definitely going to be a lot of Lamar and a lot of Derrick Henry.
Nope. Faux show. Next. You got one, Scott? Or Dale? Who did that one?
That was me.
Yeah, Dale. My bad.
Let me see. Yeah, actually I do. Let's go. We're doing what? Starter sit?
Yeah.
Let's do.
Which one you starting over the other? That's the.
Okay.
That's the question.
Starter sit. Amon-Ra or CD, and
I knew it.
I'm gonna go with Amon-Ra. So you guys go ahead and explain, and then I'll go ahead and piggyback off of that.
So I knew you were going to go with that. I got to go with CD. CD has had one, not even exceptional game. He's had like one game over projections, if I'm not mistaken. He's due for a big game, man. He's due for a big game. And wide receivers just seem to have a fun time with the Lions. The running backs, not so much, but this is going to be a passing game, high-scoring game as well. And CD's about to show the fuck up, man. It's about that time.
All right. I'm going to disagree with you. It's going to be Amon-Ra. And it's because the Cowboys defense is decimated. I think they're all in the hospital right now.
Damn near.
Probably just getting special treatments and sponge baths and IVs, because they're going to need it. I think it's going to be a big game, and it's going to be high scoring because even though Detroit's defense is decent, they're going to get tired because they're going to be on the field a lot. Both teams are. It's going to be back and forth. So And is this one in Dallas or is it in Detroit?
Dallas.
Yep, in Dallas.
Dallas, yeah, Dallas is gonna get so spanked. Well, maybe not spanked. It's gonna be a lot of scoring, but I think I would side with Amon-Ra on this one. I feel more confident. They are in a dome, so Jared Goff is safe from the elements. Yeah, I think Amon-Ra, and probably by 8 to 10 points. I think the way that Dak and CD have not been on the same page, it's going to translate into this, and you're going to have everybody else but CD get a lot of looks. CD will pull off the big plays here and there, but they're going to be few and far between.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Amon-Ra for me. Cowboys defense, like you said, decimated. They've got. Oh, I think we just lost Scotty.
Oh, no.
There he is.
I was trying to give you an update.
Oh, good. So yeah, they've got no pass rush. They've got no Micah Parsons, no Lawrence. When you've got no pass rush, you give Goff time to throw the ball, and with all the weapons he has, I think Amon-Ra is going to get a ton of looks. They can use Jameson Williams as the decoy, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, and that's going to get Amon-Ra all those looks. And I think he'll have probably north of 12 targets at least in this game. Don't get me wrong, CD is great, but that chemistry it's just not there right now. So I'm going with Amon-Ra against that Cowboys defense.
It's the bounce back game, baby. Keep those receipts.
I guess we will see. All right. I really wanted to try to find a running back one. But
I got
think
one.
Okay, go ahead.
James Conner or Josh Jacobs?
Okay. Let's. So, yeah, they play each other. I think I would go Jacobs. Cardinals don't have the best defense. Packers have a pretty damn good defense. I think their game script is going to be a little bit better as far as that goes, going against the Cardinals defense. Although they just tore us up last week. So, yeah, it could go either way, but that's probably a more fair matched one. But I'm going to lean Jacobs just for the tiebreaker being the Cardinals not having a better defense than the Packers do.
Yeah, same over here. Leaning more towards Josh Jacobs. He's starting to heat up. Cardinals defense is not the best. And like Johnny was saying, I think the Packers are just going to be more in the driver's seat. Josh Jacobs about to tear him up. James Conner, he's nice. James Conner's been doing really well this year, but I think the lean goes towards Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I have to agree. Jacobs against that Cardinals defense. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. And Connor's been great, like you said. Super consistent all year, but that Packers defense is no joke. And I'm going to take the running back against the weak defense all day.
I also think that the Cardinals are going to throw it more this game because that's how they're going to have to play. They're probably going to be playing from behind, or it's going to be competitive, and their only progress they're going to make is going to be in the air. Marvin Harrison Jr., probably going to be a bounce-back game for him. Trey McBride looked good last week. He was getting stuff done. But also look out for Michael Wilson. Greg George is still in the mix, but Michael Wilson is definitely the preferred number 2. But I think that's the only way the Cardinals keep it alive, and that'll be good for Kyler Murray. Once he scrambles some long runs like he did last week,
He's scurrying around, bro, like a little squirrel.
Yep.
Like he's moving.
All right. You guys want to do? You guys going after any trades? You got trade targets? Anybody you're looking to get rid of? Try to sell high on? Anybody you're trying to go after and try to buy low on?
Give me some Bijan. I need Bijan, man.
So you're trying to buy low?
Yes, I say
Okay.
buy low on Bijan. Managers may be panicking because of the usage. He's still a lead running back, man. I got him in a couple leagues. I'm holding tight. He's not going anywhere. But, if you got somebody in your league, maybe the record's not too hot, they may be a little bit worried about Bijan. Take a shot at him, man.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also going to go running back. Buy low on Breece Hall. Breece Hall is not doing good these last couple weeks. But we've seen what he can do. He's an elite running back. He's a dual threat running back. He can catch passes out of the backfield. McCaffrey and Bijan are, when all healthy, probably the best 3 dual threat running backs in the game. Throw Jahmyr Gibbs in there as well, but they're just on a downward slide right now with that offense. I think they need to find their identity, but once they do, I think it's Breece Hall full go. So if you can find that Breece Hall manager and try and buy low, not sure, what you would be able to trade for to get him. But just throw trades out there and just get back and forth in some conversation and try and make something happen and, see what happens.
Yep, I hear you there. I think you can sell high on Kyler Murray. So
Ooh.
now he is a great quarterback, but if you think you can do a quick upgrade or do get a 2-for-1 on getting a similar tiered quarterback and a piece that you need, don't be afraid to do something like that. Quarterbacks, again, the tiers jump. I think Kyler might be, if you're in a hard place, you need to make a big move. You may want to sell high on him and make a move for the future. Or you may downgrade it at quarterback by selling Kyler, but you get a piece that you really need, whether it's running back or wide receiver. I wouldn't do it for a tight end, even though the tight end market is very, very scarce. I don't think that's a good move to make that kind of sacrifice of a big name quarterback that's been killing it with one down game. So I think you can sell high on him as long as you get at least a mid range, maybe not so high as him quarterback, but also a really important piece. And if you've got an extra quarterback on your bench, that may not be a hard thing to do. You can just straight up try to trade for what your opponent has as a quarterback and go with your guy on the bench if you're higher on him, or don't even do that at all and just go for the pieces that you want. You can go out there and get a star wide receiver and a mid running back. Go from there. Just depends on what your needs are, but that is an option.
Most definitely.
And I think we're going to stick on quarterbacks real quick. I think you might also be able to buy low on Josh Allen.
That's a good one.
Couple games in a row, he hasn't been the Josh Allen that we know, especially last game. 9 for 30, 9 for 31. Terrible efficiency. And I don't think it's going to keep going. I think he's in a rut. I think losing Shakir last game was big. It shows how important he is as a piece in that offense. Granted, there's not many pieces in that offense outside of Allen and Cooks, but Shakir is obviously his go-to, is number one, and it showed how bad it was that he was missing. So you might be able to buy low on Josh Allen if the Allen manager is hurting at another position and has another quarterback ready, on his bench that's serviceable, and you want to take a flyer, take a shot on Allen in hopes that he gets it right and plays how we're used to seeing him play. You could buy low on him, and then you could probably sell high if you're comfortable and have a backup quarterback that you're okay with for the rest of the season on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is balling out right now. 2 interceptions. That offense is getting it right. Unfortunately, they're not winning games, but they're clicking. And, if you could use a few other pieces here and there to fill in with your roster, like I said, and you're comfortable with the other quarterback you have on your bench, you could sell high on Burrow and get something nice for him for sure.
Okay.
So you don't believe that Burrow's going to keep this up for the rest of the year?
I think he could, but if you're the Burrow manager and you're, 1-4, 2-3, and you need to make some moves to where, you need a better wide receiver, better running back, and, injuries have bugged you. And like I said, if you got that quarterback on your bench that you're comfortable with, going forward, if you need to, trade Burrow, I think you do that. I think you make moves that can help you win, because if your wide receivers, your running backs are injured, but you got your quarterback who's balling out, why not trade him, get a couple pieces that will help produce better numbers than just relying on one person, and just roll with your backup quarterback.
So you would sacrifice Joe Burrow, which he'll probably play this way the rest of the season, just to fit the need for a wide receiver or a running back or two?
It would have to be multiple. It would have to be a 2-for-1, and you're going to find somebody out there that will trade for him, somebody that's needy at quarterback. So you go out and you find that quarterback needy manager, and you throw out Burrow for a wide receiver and a running back that's going to help your depth. If you're down, Cooper Kupp, you're down Puka, you're down AJ Brown, your running backs who's injured right now that I can't think of.
Achane,
CMC, and you're just plugging and playing
Nico.
Yeah, and you're just plugging and playing these, guys off the waiver wire, off your bench. Yeah, I definitely think you can do that. If you have somebody like, a Kirk Cousins on your bench, or you got a Jared Goff on your bench, if you waited till the later rounds and those later round QBs are playing how they are right now, you definitely sell on Burrow and you get those higher end positional players.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I'm just asking, and wondering which pieces you'd be looking to get for Burrow. So,
I couldn't say exactly who, but that all depends on the team that you have assembled and the team that you're looking at trying to trade Burrow to. So just go out there and throw some offers out there, see who bites, and if you guys get into a little bidding war, counter back and forth, that's good. It keeps it going and keeps the options open.
Part of the game, baby.
Yep. All right. Well, you guys got anything else for this week?
Nah, man, just football's back again, man. Like I was telling you guys last week, I think that we want to say it was the Seahawks Lions game. Seemed like offense is back. Everybody's knocking the rust off. Everybody that is healthy, they're ready to play, man. Everybody's ready for football. We back.
Yep, it's crazy. You know, it'd be something else, almost as if we could start playing football week 1 if we start incorporating our starters in the preseason. Anyway, that's a weird concept. So, Dale, you got anything, bud?
Not really. I mean, still looking to see when CMC will be activated. I know he's going to miss this week, but there's a chance that they could activate him for the Chiefs game. At least that's when I see his projections added back up onto the rest of the season. So keep an eye on that for sure. And then just keep plugging away at the waiver wire. Trades, injuries are bad this year, and everybody's having to make moves to fill in for all these injuries. So just keep an eye out for who people drop for an emergency pickup. A lot of people drop good players that might be able to help you out, that maybe they were just worth dropping for the other team. Keep an eye on those waiver wires, and just study. Watch our YouTube, and if you take something from it, then great. But if you have questions or anything, please drop it in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. We can't do this without the subscribers and the likes and the views. So thank you guys for watching, and like, comment, subscribe, share everywhere.
Yep, absolutely. So, as far as announcements, just to let you guys know, everybody at home, I will not be on the show next week. I will be celebrating my wedding anniversary with my gorgeous wife, Bonnie. And so Scott and Dale are going to take over the podcast, and we'll still get it out to you guys. Still regularly scheduled program. But yeah, anyway, you're in good hands. These guys got it. We'll see if anything else comes up as far as ideas, segments for the show. You guys, please be active. Throw some comments on the videos. Let us know what you like. Let us know what's stupid. Let us know, just give feedback, give comments. Appreciate the one comment on the last video from Ruben about the trap players, trap games. Like, it's a great idea. It happens to a lot of us. We fall into this trap thinking a player is, going to do a certain way or win a certain matchup. And same thing with games. But situations dictate a lot of things when it comes to players or the matchup. So you guys have anything else, just let us know. We appreciate you watching. Please share, subscribe, get the people that you're sharing it to. Please ask them to subscribe so we can build up that following. They don't have to get the notifications if they don't want. They can just check back when they want to, but we definitely would love it if we had some active viewers. Just got a buddy from work to check the channel out today. Shout out to Mark. Appreciate it. Hopefully you like this episode. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know what's going on. We definitely appreciate everyone that's already watching and listening. We definitely have some fans already, and we just want to build on that. So if you guys have anything else.
No, I just appreciate everybody. Like everybody was saying, appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate all the engagement. We need more subscribers. So if you guys enjoy the show, comments and feedback, just give us a like, give us a subscription, share it to your friends and family. Spread the word, man, because we're doing this for y'all. We're having fun doing this, but we are trying to actually put out some useful information and give it some entertainment.
Yes, sir. We're just three regular guys that love fantasy football, and we're not professionals by any means. And maybe, us having a different perspective helps you guys out. as regular fantasy football players and, not a professional analyst. But, definitely please like, comment, subscribe. Definitely want to keep putting out content for you guys, and we can't do it without you and your engagement. So please help us out. Please help us grow the channel so we can keep the content going and, make this thing grow.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we definitely appreciate you all. And minus me, we will see you next week. Everybody take care and good luck.